Hey, what's up? It's Keely's, and today we're playing some more Koala. So I'm getting ready for a star tournament, so I'm trying to dial, or I guess pick which deck I want to play. I'm right now in toss up between Koala and Kagara. Zoro was in the consideration, but Zoro's playstyle is a little bit too, I guess, linear and I just didn't find it in certain situations to be fun. Plus, it being one of the top meta decks, that means there's a lot of people that either practice against it or just have counters built into the deck for it, and it's just there'll be some unfavorable things that I may not like, and I'm just overall having more fun with the Kagara and Koala decks. So that's what I'm leaning into. So in this koala deck, I'm actually uh, trying out some new stuff, including some Zoro tech, which would be the Black Vortex. Now, the Black Vortex is not just Zoro counter, but it definitely works very well as a Blackbeard. And then, as you'll see in other decks, sorry, I said Blackbeard, but Zoro, Blackbeard, a lot of other decks that have effects during their turn. Even in the mirror match, um, you can stop them from drawing as well as stop an attack. Well, actually, you can't stop them from drawing if you do it on another card but didn't do it on their leader. There's a lot of applications with this one card that can stop a lot of stuff and just make it tougher for your opponents. So I definitely like that, and the fact that yeah, I think the biggest card we play is 8. Well, technically 9, but we can play a dragon down and still leave Dawn up for here and play out two bodies. So generally, we are set up to play that, or even on our 8 down turn, if we don't have a dragon, we can play down our 6 drops easily, leave up 2 Dawn, and just set up that way. So definitely wanted to test this card out. Not 100% sold on this card. I've had some games on Sim where it's been very useful, and a lot of games at locals where it is just something I pitch. So still playing around with it, still testing it. Also, my real life deck and this deck is a little bit different, especially since um, I did add the Lin in, which I think is a great addition to our 6, just in case somebody's trying to play around your them having 5 cards. If they drop down to 4 cards in hand, you can kind of drop this down, and then they'll still lose 2 cards, or they'll lose a life. So, and this one is actually trash, so it's a little bit better than our leader effect, which gives them that card to hand. So this just gets them in a really bad position if they try to play around our cards. And then if it goes into our trash, we can play this at any time that we need or we want. So just wanted to play around with it, see how well it went with the deck. Unfortunately, since it's a one of, you rarely see. Um, so there's not too many occasions where I've gotten the chance to actually play it because I didn't actually see it ever, for whatever reasoning. But besides that, everything else stays the same. We have the Stussy to pop anything. We have our Karasu and our yellow Revolutionary Army, 2Ks that are searchable, but also bodies that can be played out of life. And if our leader effect is going off, it's a good possibility that these cards are become live a lot sooner. As well as if we play multiple Kumas, there's a good chance that one of these things will pop up in your life, and it just helps a lot when you're trying to finish out games and a body comes out of life. But let's go ahead and get into the games. These will be ranked games for sure. And let's go. All right, so here are the first rounds, and we got a really good mulligan. Generally, a searcher is always great. You want to have something to play on 6 when you're going second, and something to play with 8. So basically, we can play Kuma at 6, pitch Lin Lin with Kuma's effect, play Dragon, and get the Lin Lin. And the fact that we have a searcher, that'll put at least 2 or 3 cards in trash for us to use to return. We're still waiting on this guy. All right, he went ahead and mulligan. This, I would say, generally is in our favor. It can end up being a long matchup. Us not getting what we want for our 4 Dawn turn. We do have a lot of 2Ks, which is kind of good in this matchup because we're gonna have to use them. Thing is, oh bam, hack is really great here. We can get rid of his Zoro without swinging into it. Can't swing it into him because it's 6K leader, but we're going ahead and just let his Zoro live, I think, is the plan. That way we can get out to 8 cost and draw. But no, we stick with the original. Kill Zoro. He's at 7 down. We just don't want him ramping too much. In fact, but if he does ramp, it's not horrible for us because he does get oh, and we go to 5 life. But he does have to play big bodies, right? That's why he's ramping. A lot of cards in hand, didn't get his leader effect yet, so we don't have to worry about Sanji Zoro here. And yeah, lots of cards in hand. So let's see what he wants to do on his 9 down turn. Red Rock, which is great. Generally I like throwing out Kuma first because of like that Red Rock option. We have 5 cards and he plays out Zoro. Just a smaller body. That's fine with us. We have all we see all of our searchers there. What will we pitch? Maybe just the 1K. Now he's at the Take a Life, which he does R, and she's not a 6, so we can't get an extra draw here. That kind of hurts a bit. Now, if you're trying to play around leader effect and not play large cards, his strategy should be like throw a lot of down on Zoro, throw a lot of down on Zoro and put pressure. That's not really correct because we can definitely just swing into his lower bodies, out sustain them, out heal. We don't have any 6 bodies to play, so he shouldn't be worried about like our dragons, I would say, in trash. So he ends up again playing around or trying to play around our bodies, leaving himself up with 4 Dawn. A 6K swing to leader. We'll go ahead and take. Just looking for some cards to play. He has 5 cards in hand. We have the Nico Robin. We will search for cards. Maybe I should have grabbed. No. If that was a 5 cost body you played instead of a 6K, then the Sabo would have been the great play. Would have been the better play. But I think just grabbing the Nico, throwing her out, is definitely a strong play here. He doesn't have too many cards in hand, so we're gonna get rid of the Karasu and just have a blocker up. Blocker is always great because we play a lot of 6 costs, so if we can play a 6 and a 4, like, or if we need to play a 6 and a 4. And there is the Don Flamingo, or not Don Flamingo, but the Rosinante. Maybe it would have been a stronger play. Uh, Probably why he was debating. But we draw another Robin, which is another great thing because with his leader effect, he gets to draw and then he draws return. So he could be at 5 cards, especially if he takes a hit here, which he does. But he should either counter or block here. He doesn't have a lot of resources in hand. And we already get a Gum out with our 7k swing. So our 8k swing would either get us another Gum, taking him out or leader effect, or grabbing that blocker. But the Thunderboggle, actually, I guess I should have known with the Rosinante build. Seeing the Rosinante in pinch that he had it, but it is fine. So he's at 9 Don. He's doing his leader effect. And that's what I think about playing Koala. With Koala, you kind of have to have patience as you fight, because the deck is built, or at least the way I have it built, is you have a lot of sustain options. You have a lot of like just ripping cards out of their hands. It is great that he waited to use the Sanji then. What that ends up doing is he can get 2 cards out and only 1 effect happens. He swings 6, we get a free block. He has 2 9k bodies out on board, but with him only having 8 or 9 cards, 5 cards in hand, no block. Oh, he has a blocker on board. I think I should have just played out the Nico Robin immediately, but the fact that he did block, I'm just gonna rip some cards out of hand immediately, and yeah, we'll pitch that out. This means if he has Gum, he has to pitch all other counters besides that, and he does pitch a 1 cost event. So I do expect a Gum here. I could go a little bit more, but this is where I say we can play a little bit patience. We draw a card, we'll swing 9 at him. If he has the Gum Giant, that's a perfect 10 counter. But it does drop him down to 3 cards again. And maybe, I think in this matchup in the future, I'll probably play out Karasu. Just because he keeps getting back to 5 cards in hand. And bam, we got a Nami blocker, which is probably going to be his best play here, while he swings some 9Ks into us. The question is, where does he want to swing those 9Ks? And he swings it into our bodies, which is fine because we do have 2Ks for them. We don't have 2Ks, but we do have a few cards, and if we want to go for game next turn, we want to keep him alive. Now he can swing a bigger swing at us again. 9, adding 3, leaving 2 up, but he'll do that. I'll go ahead and block. He's at 5 cards again, and we're just gonna play this slow. That's the way I want to do this. I'll go ahead and play out just choosing what to pick. And we're gonna trash some more cards out of the hand. Probably pitch the Stussy, no counter. I could have also have just done Stussy, search Stussy, and pop their blocker or pop one of their bodies. That could have been also a good play. But I think we're gonna search a Gum here, maybe singing 10, but I think I want to put a little pressure onto life, just in case he was bluffing the Gum Gum. We didn't look at trash, but he does have the Gum Gum. He had the pitch gear too. And yeah, we want to see here. This does put us in, I don't want to say dangerous, because we have 2 blockers. He has 2 cards in hand now, so he should be going to 4. We just have a wider body. Oh yeah, just having a wider board, and not really afraid of dying here. He does grab a gear too, which is another event for him. He can play a couple of blockers. I think him not putting Dawn on Zoro all these turns, definitely is a thing I would have done. He's going to swing heavily into our board, which is fine. We only give him 1 card to swing into, and now he definitely doesn't have like game. And he'll swing 7 at us. We'll take. There's a heal, but probably not our best play. But we have some more counter there. He swings 7. Just looking at it, 7, 9. We're gonna go ahead and take. We get another body. That's the one thing great about those 2Ks is if we ever want to like flip it and push for game, it gives us another body. Now we have less cards in hand. If he wants to swing, we can always take this and see if he'll swing a blocker. Because I don't think we live regardless. And yeah, unless he plays the Nami out or uses the Nami to block. So now he has 5 Dawn up. Definitely has 1 event, but we're gonna swing 10 first. If he has the Gum Gum, he still has to give us another card, so that'll drop him from 4 cards to 3 cards, or he'll block. But it wasn't even Gum Gum, so we end up getting more cards than we thought we would have. We'll go 11 here. That's gonna force a block, and then we can go another 11 as well. We could also split and go 6-6. 6 will draw us in our 7. 7-7-9. We do get the 2-cost black event that we're testing out in this deck, and we get a 9. So we'll go 7 and then another 7. The Thunder Boggle would have got him out. So yeah, if we would have mashed in, he would have actually lived. So it's a good thing we split that the way we did. Now we have the Sakazuki, the deck that's really good into Zoro. So we may see a lot more of these just for a good counter. It does have a lot of KO potential and is in it for the long run. Definitely a long game deck. But I feel like we're definitely better. He can't do his Rebecca effect as he wants it, like, or at least for free. He has to burn a life in order to do it. We're always going to drop hack out on turn 4 whenever we can, especially into a black deck. Just them getting rid of at 8 cost that early is, I would say, really not impossible, but really hard for them to do. We'll pitch Takuma just to get a 6 cost in trash, and we still have Akuma and Robin that they need to deal with. Question is, he has so many cards in hand. do I want um, to slowly go at his hand? And I think that's the plan. So he dropped the Karasu down, another card that's going to be harder for him to KO because I have 2/8 costs on the board, and he has a good chunk of Dawn, but he doesn't have Ice Age. Ice Age is what made that deck really hard to beat. On top of, he doesn't want to do the Rebecca combo. Now he grabs a T-Bone and he makes it where I can't attack with the Karasu, which is great because I mean that's a really good play. We're gonna go ahead and do that, get rid of the blocker. I thought about Rebecca, but we ended up not doing Rebecca because we didn't want him to play it out again and grab just cards to his hand, is at least a thought, and they're both blockers. I wasn't able to attack, but I was able to get those cards out of hand. We have an 8 cost. I think, yeah, what we're gonna do is just swing 5. We have the event in hand. It does nullify the effect, so if he does attack before cycling, we can cut that out. Gaining a 1k. He does get 5 cards in hand, 6 cards. It was a good thing that we didn't attach it to because he took anyway. I think he just wants to get those cards that he was missing back. We'll go ahead and just nullify that. Just basically a free block, and he drops down the Kuzan. Kuzan could be a problem. He is that Ice Age like card. He goes ahead and swings with a free block, which he didn't count on, but he definitely wanted to play at 4 cost. Laboon. Now the Laboon and Kuzan are both major problems. I think here, yeah, before I play this Nico Robin, I should definitely get the Karasu to swing. Just don't know how I want to do it. If we go, because we're gonna play out a 6-drop, right? So you're gonna have to give me a card, and then you're gonna have to give me, and he gave me a 2k, which means he has a lot of 2ks in hand. So he gave me a lot of 2ks. That pivots to play, for sure. We get to draw a card. We still have 1 extra card. He gives us a blocker, and we get a dragon. We don't get to play our dragon out this turn, but we do get to kill, and it's just giving us a lot of good plays here. That extra draw lets us know what we can do. We're gonna go ahead and just get a free block. He showed us who he was gonna KO. He drops out the Kuzan and loses a life there. I do want to hold on because I think I could push for game with him not having any blockers on board. I could at least pivot for game here. We'll go ahead and take, just hoping to get a trigger out of body, out of life. This time I don't want to be too greedy, so we counter, and yeah, he goes ahead and gives up because when we pushed through, he only had 2k or no, 3k in counter. We had 2 swings and he had 1 body. So now we're going against the one only Blackbeard in another ranked match. This match is actually horrible. And normally that would have been a good hand, but we kind of need to see our characters that don't have on plays, which the mulligan got us there. It would have been nice to have a searcher here just to deal with that Luffy deck. turn, which we don't have. So we're just gonna pass. It's just I always feel like the more swings they're going to lead, the better. And if we could have got the searcher down, it could have the searcher could have handled the Luffy and help fill trash, which I don't think we need to fill trash, but it's always nice, especially with that black hole in our hand. That black hole is going to allow us to have, if played at the right opportunity, will allow us to have on plays for a turn. So we got our on KO. We're just gonna use a 2K here. No reason to use our blocker, and we definitely want to get our draw next turn, which we can. Now it is hard because sometimes you want to just get the Kuma out there so they have a target to attack into, but the Karasu is the correct play because we get to attack his hand. Or if they really want, they could counter aggressively to play around it, or try to play around it, I would say. Yeah, I would say our deck is definitely strong against this one. He seems to be playing a lot of cards here, grabbing fighting cards. He does swing 5. Don't want to block here because we can't kill. We got a trigger, which gets us our searcher kind of late, but we'll go ahead and grab that. And puts our Lin in trash. Well, no. It's kind of hard to say if you want the Lin or not. Are you going to be able to turn it off? Leader effect, and yes, he throws a lot of blockers here. I have quite a few swings, and yeah, he just played everything in hand to get his hand under 5 to deal with the Karasu, which is fine. The first thing we're gonna do is draw a card. We don't have on plays here, but yeah, he pitches aggressively, which is fine. He's under the threshold, but he still has to deal with the 6K swing, which gives us a 2K. Now we're gonna play out the Kuma. We don't get the hill because he turned it off, but we do have preparation to get our hill next turn. Not that we need, but another thing that I think another possible play here is to black hole the Jesus, negating its effect and KOing it with hack if he swings into it. That is definitely a possibility. So I think I just go straight to leader. Oh yeah, I definitely go straight to leader here. If it was if you had a little bit more cards in hand, I could have played the Robin instead. But I don't know. The Jesus is pretty huge, so maybe negating its effect and popping it with the hack might have been a good choice. We can't protect the Karas. I mean, we can. But we have enough counter in hand to protect them. But he goes into body because I thought he was gonna go into hack. A little surprised there, but if he did go into hack, then we could take out his blocker. So I think that's why he ended up going into life. Now with his leader ability not active, we can kind of just play him out. We got a body for free, and we just have a lot of bodies to deal with. 3 life. And he only has 2 cards in hand because he tried playing around our card. So here, I think I make a mistake. I do want to go for the bodies on board. I probably should have just swung 8. Test the waters. Just throw 1 down on him. And then I could have threw more down on Hack. But we're going to be a little bit aggressive here. Yeah. You get a search off just to grab more cards in hand. And we just got to be a little bit aggressive here. We're not afraid of dying. This will give him more cards in hand, but also bring him down to 1 life. We have a lot of potential swings here. He is on 10, so he can drop some cards. We do have tons of cards in hand, so the idea is just to keep our bodies alive as much as possible, as many bodies as possible. That way we can finish next turn. If he does decide to block with the Kuzan, he does end up taking his own life, which is not what he wants to do. Probably not ideal. He swings 5. Here, and we get a 9k swing here. We definitely have the 2-1, and it looks like he's gearing up. Yeah, there's another 9-drop swing. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make him take his own life, and he does stop a swing. But with 5 cards in hand, he pitched for leader ability. I don't have any rush cards, but I may have some like KO cards that he may be afraid of. He doesn't know what tech I'm running. I don't think I have any trash or any other team is playing trash or anything like that. But we just need to hit him 1 time. So if he can turn his blocker sideways, off of 8, or if we can get him to give us 2 2Ks, we can kind of calculate. But he didn't have the counter for that, and he knew that the swings were just gonna get worse, and that's it. Well, I'm gonna continue to test out the deck. So far, I like it. I just don't have like something to kind of put the nail in the coffin. This one is more of like a grindy build, I feel, at least the way I play it. I wish there was something I could kind of throw down and the game would be over. So I don't know, maybe the next one I might test out or try some aces just to see if they are the ones that are gonna like put the nail in the coffin. Or maybe I just continue to play the Starve Out challenge and maybe add something in like Kid just to help trash your life and just put a lot of pressure onto them. There's a lot of things I want to kind of iron out before the store championship come. But if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I'll try them out. Definitely gonna be testing it out a lot more. There's just a few options we can try out just to add to the deck. But I think it's a solid list so far, for sure, for what we have. Till next time, we're out.